Hi fam, you are most welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So fam, I want to quickly weigh into the Davido and Sophia Momodu's child custody battle over their daughter Imade Adeleke. The matter seems a bit complicated, right? There has been so much said about this case and I've just been observing from afar. But at this point, I think that I have to say something. But in weighing into the matter, I choose not to delve into the nitty-gritty of the whole story because I believe that we don't know the details apart from what is being shared on social media. We don't know some of the backstories, we don't know some of the things that they are not telling us, so nobody can really make a sound judgment on their matter. Rather, I choose to touch on the part of their story that might be general to parents, single mothers, baby mamas, and the likes, or anybody wishing to become one of these three that I mentioned. Before I proceed, kindly take a moment to like this video so that you don't forget. Okay, so to start with, I want to say that both Davido and Sophia's concerns about their daughter Imade are valid. Davido is saying that he wants joint custody over Imade. He wants to be a part of his daughter's life, which is absolutely normal for any parent, any loving father or mother. You want to be a part of your child's life. You don't want your child to be raised from afar, even though you may be having issues with the mom. And from the little that I remember, I know that Davido used to be a part of Imade's life. Of course, we've seen videos and pictures of both of them on social media bonding as father and daughter. So it's going to be difficult now to say that I cannot be a part of Imade's life, or that Imade is going to be raised far away from him, especially based on what I said for a father who was bonded with his daughter when she was a little girl, a very little girl, right? So his reasons, his concerns are valid. Sophia's concerns are also valid. She has expressed safety concerns with regards to Davido having custody over Imade as well. That Davido is usually surrounded by so many guys, and that, we know what these guys can be up to and all of that. So she's not comfortable about that. And for the fact that Davido is a music superstar, he's usually not around most of the time. So her reasons are also valid, coming from a loving mother. But this is where I have issues with the way both of them are going about this entire matter. I think that they can handle this matter more amicably. They can handle it in a better manner, wiser. So the first thing that is coming to my mind when I say things like this, like they call it in pidgin, yam pepper scatter scatter, right? All over the internet, Sophia posting receipts. When I say receipt, that's as in evidence of what has transpired between her and Davido, her and Davido's father, her and, several other people. And I think that it is absolutely not necessary, because fine, both of them are saying that what they are doing is in the interest of the child, Imade in this case, which I quite understand. The mother is fighting for her daughter, the father is fighting for his daughter, but at the end of the day, I think that they are doing more harm than good to the child, because like they say, the internet never forgets. All this battle, all this mess is splashed all over the internet, and Imade is no longer a very little girl. I think she's 9 at this point, yeah, if I'm not wrong. She's no longer a little girl. Before you know it, she's going to be seeing all of this all over the internet. How is she going to feel that her parents are fighting dirty over her? The mother even going to the extent of posting chat evidence, text message of how, Davido came over, how they were talking about sleeping with each other and all of those things. I think that it is messy and it is uncalled for. If she discovers all of this later in life, how is she going to feel? I hope she doesn't resent the parents, because what this will do to her is that it is going to open for mockery. Imagine you just walking around and everybody is pointing at you, like they already know your family history. They already know everything that transpired between your mom and your dad while you were growing up, how they fought over you, how they did all of this, what went down between your mom and your dad, and all of those things. And the people of this world have no mercy. When time comes, especially when they really want to get at you, they're going to dig everything up and they're going to use everything to get at you. So I really hope that they're not setting Imade up for depression. I really hope that all of this will not eventually damage her. And I'm using them as a case study, but I'm speaking to everybody that might be in a similar situation right now, right? That we don't need to spread our dirty linens in public. There are ways to settle family matters amicably. We should keep private matters private. Keep family matters within the family. People don't really care. They are only going to peddle gists with your story. They really will not provide any solution. And in this case, the case is in the court of law. Why not allow the law take its course over this matter and not subject your child to public ridicule, whether now or in the future? I strongly believe that we need to be intelligent in the use of social media. And apart from parental issues, even your own personal issues, know the limits, set boundaries. Set boundaries as to what you can put out there. Because once it goes out there, forget it. It is not something that can be retrieved. It is already there. And the second thing that I want to say is this. Still talking about the interest of the child. If you have any situation similar to what is going on between Sophia and Davido, right? I mean, as a parent, you have to learn to reach compromises. You have to learn to sacrifice. There are times that you have to swallow your pride. You have to drop your ego just for the sake of your child. It doesn't mean that you're a fool. You're not a fool. But for the sake of that child, in the interest of that child, don't go around fighting dirty. There are some things that you will not do as a parent. Even me as a parent, talking of normal behaviors, there are some things that I dare not do. Not because they are totally wrong in themselves, but because of my children. I hope that we are not going to keep doing things or putting things out there that we're going to regret later. We're not going to say things that we wish, we shouldn't have said. We're not going to do things that we will say, I was being childish. I shouldn't have done this. Of what use was this? Or posts that we will feel like we could take down 5-10 years down the line. If our children start asking us questions, I hope we will not feel ashamed. These are some of the things that I'm talking about. It is not everything that you are pressed to do that you're going to do in the heat of that moment. In fact, sometimes you have to wait. No matter how pressed you are, give yourself like 24 hours or even 48 hours or more to see, do you still feel the anger? Do you still feel the anger that you felt the first time this matter happened? But I bet you that there is every possibility that your anger would have subsided. So don't let us do things in the heat of the moment. You don't want to look back and wish that, you had not put up that post, you had not said that thing, you had not done what you did. No. And then the third thing that I want to say is this. And this one goes to anybody, especially ladies, who is thinking of becoming a single mother deliberately, because I know that in the world that we live in, things have really changed, especially in Nigeria. So many years ago, it wasn't a thing that people would come out to say, I'm a single mother with their full chest, or maybe you get pregnant out of wedlock. It's not something to be proud of, right? But I know that things have changed, and I'm not bashing or blaming anybody who finds him or herself in this position, maybe as a single mother or a single father, because I know that so many times life happens. Sometimes you wish that you could get married to that person, and so you want to give your all to that person and all of that. This is still not justifying it, but if it has happened, it has happened. But if for you it has not happened, I really want to plead, please try to avoid it, because I think that it is more costly to be going through all the saga like we're seeing in the case of Sophia and Davido now. It is very, very costly. It is very, very expensive. The mental torture, emotional torture, psychological torture, financial stress, everything involved. So at the end of the day, is it really worth it? I know there are so many reasons why people do this. Some people do it because, maybe the guy is rich, they want to keep him down, or maybe the lady is in control of something big. Different reasons. But is it worth it? Just think about it. To every action, there are consequences. And pregnancy does not keep a man. I'm a parent. I'm happily married by the grace of God. I only have 2 children. But I tell you, it is not easy taking care of those 2 children. Even with the support of my husband. And even when my mom comes around something, you still have to be on ground. It is not easy, not to now talk of taking care of a child alone. If the father was dead, that is something different. Everybody accepts their faith and we move on, we live with that reality. But that the father is alive, but for one reason or the other, he cannot just be present in the life of the child. Or maybe you have to release the child for 2 weeks to go to him. All those things, I just don't like it. Some people may not mind, but I don't think that it is wise. If you have done it and God is giving you the grace and everything, fine. But at the end of the day, if he's not going to marry you or you are not yet married, just avoid having a child out of wedlock. Because you cannot even imagine that a guy that once loved you, that once professed love to you to the point of you both having a child together, is now with somebody else, another woman. But I'm just thinking about it. Is it really worth it? It's a lot of stress taking care of children. And apart from that, I feel that if the father of a child is alive, that father should be allowed to be a part of the child's life. You don't want to raise a child alone. They need that firmness that will only come from the father. There is a big role that a father plays in the life of a child, whether a boy child or a girl child. There is that vacuum that nobody else can feel. You may say, oh, I'm the father and the mother, and let's just say the truth. It still cannot be like that. That vacuum will always be there. Some ladies do it because they feel, oh, let me just, don't lose hope. And if you're already a single mother, don't fight dirty. God will give you the grace to raise your child in the best way possible. If you can allow the father to be a part of the child's life, if there is no threat whatsoever, why not? And in the case of Sophia and Davido, I think that I'm still saying that they can handle this amicably. Let them sort it within their families. I believe that they have elders in the family, in both families, that can handle this. I'm just very much concerned about the child. Not about them, Davido and Sophia, or anybody that might be in the situation, but about the child. The child will not be a child forever. Just like the video said, the child is going to grow up, and when this child grows up and she starts saying all of this all over the internet, how is she going to feel? That is what I'm driving at. They should apply more wisdom in handling this matter, and I pray that God will help them. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. That is what I had to say about the Sophia and Davido child custody saga. Don't hesitate to share your thoughts with me about this whole thing. Don't forget to like this video as well, and kindly subscribe to my channel if you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, aka First Lady, and on this channel I encourage you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again. Until then, be intentional. Bye.